Good morning. I look tired. I feel tired. Today is January 27th, and we're going to start with a daily reflection on the Old Testament. And she conceived and bare a son, and said, God hath taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, and said, The Lord shall add to me another son. Genesis 30:23-24. As the scripture indicates, one meaning of the name Joseph is to add or to add to. Jacob's beloved wife, Rachel, who had had such difficulty bearing children, was blessed with a son, a special son, one destined to change the course of history. Some scholars believe that the word Joseph comes from a word that means to gather. We learn later in the book of Genesis of Joseph's success in gathering his own family together. We learn more especially from the prophecies of Joseph about a latter-day seer by the name of Joseph, who would be directly involved in the final great work of gathering Israel. Joseph Smith, the choice seer, was called to restore the fullness of the gospel, to gather the elect from the four corners of the earth, and thereby to prepare the saints to stand upon Mount Zion in the great city of the New Jerusalem. Okie dokie. Today is Genesis chapter 5, verses 17 through 32. Okay. 17 through 32. Okay. We were doing genealogy. He begat this and he lived so many years. He begat that and he lived so many years. Let us carry on. 17. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. I think we could learn a lot from the city of Enoch, but literally is that much. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and he begat a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old. And Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right. I ain't doing all the math on that, okay? But are we to maybe assume that some of those people were still alive when Noah built the ark? I don't know. Lots of family members to be had in 900, 500, so on years. Let's see what Ludlow has to say. Joseph Fielding Smith has written concerning Enoch. Very little is known by the world concerning the great prophet Enoch, who is mentioned in the Bible only in Genesis 4 and 5 of the Old Testament, and Luke 3:37, Hebrews 11:5, and Jude 1:14 of the New Testament. However, the writers of the of both the Old and New Testament indicated that Enoch was so righteous that he was translated. Modern scripture and revelation provide much additional information on this great man, including some of his writings. His life and teachings are of particular importance to Latter-day Saints because Enoch was able to prepare a people who became so righteous they were actually taken off the terrestrial earth so they could live a terrestrial order. In a somewhat similar manner, a people must be prepared in these latter days to be worthy to live at least a terrestrial order so they will be able to live with Jesus Christ when he comes on the earth to rule in power and great glory. Let's see. There's a lot here, more about Enoch. Too much for me to read. But for verse 29, in the pre-earthly existence, Noah was known as Gabriel, and after he was born on earth, proved faithful to the Lord and survived the flood. He was placed next in authority to Adam in the priesthood. He was called of God and was the father of all living in this day. And to him was given the dominion. Hi, honey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Oh, your foot is filthy. Look at it. Don't put it in my bed. That's filthy. There you go. All right. I have no thoughts on that. Okay, so that was... nope. Genesis chapter 5, verses 17 through 32. And then... tomorrow we're going to go into Moses, which is probably going to give us a little bit more detail on this subject. Moses chapter 6, verses 1 through 13. Let's send it off with a prayer. Yes, my love?
You know why I got the black stuff on my shoe?
Why?
My foot?
Because you weren't wearing shoes?
No.
Why?
There was this soft, wet stuff, and I think it was honey.
Oh.
So that stepped in honey.
Oh.
So it just made it black.
Gross. All right. We've got two for today. George MacDonald and William Dean Howells. O Father, help us to know that the hiding of thy face is wise love. Thy love is not fond, doting, and reasonless. Thy bairns must often have the frosty cold side of the hill, and set down both their bare feet against the thorns. Thy love hath eyes, and in the meantime is looking on. Our pride must have winter weather. All right. Lord, for the erring thought, not into evil wrought. Lord, for the wicked will, betrayed and baffled still. For the heart from itself kept, our thanksgiving accept. For ignorant hopes that were broken to our blind prayer. For pain, death, sorrow sent unto our chastisement. For all loss of seeming good, quicken our gratitude. Sometimes we must have the frosty side of the hill. All right, that's all for today, and we'll see you tomorrow for Moses chapter 6, verses 1 through 13.